Hello and welcome back to another one of Paul's beer reviews. I hope you're doing well today. I've got a lager to review for you. It's mass produced, huge name, huge brewery, internationally brewed, contract brewed. It's Birra Moretti, and it is their Sal de Mare, which is essentially their unfiltered premium lager, coming in at 4.8% ABV. Yeah, it says unfiltered premium lager with a hint of Italian sea salt. So there it is. This one's been around a little while. It's just not been one I've been overly keen to try. But I was in a supermarket the other day and I realised I still haven't tried it. And I thought I'd buy a bottle. So bit of my tash is trying to attack me. I thought I'd buy a bottle. They only had big ones, which was a bit of a shame. You don't very often buy little individual ones that are small, do you? So we've got the big ones. There's a 4.8% Birra Moretti unfiltered. Birra Moretti, I'm not a massive fan. Never really have been. I've always found it a slightly weird kind of bitter hoppiness at the back end, which to me has always tasted like a cheap hoppiness, if that makes any sense. There's the hoppiness for me at the back end of a Birra Moretti always tastes a little bit artificial and a bit nasty to me. I've never been a fan of Moretti generally. So I'm hoping this one's going to be a little bit better. Unfiltered, you know, not filtered within an inch of his life. Maybe some of the hoppy character might come across a little bit differently on this one. And the malts might do a little bit more of the work. But we'll see. But yeah, readily available, this one. Most of you watching this would have had it, but I picked it up in Asda. The branding's slightly different on these ones. They've gone with more of a blue type colour scheme rather than the sort of classic red and green, the Italian look. And I've even got a little Birra Moretti glass to pour it into. This one was, pretty sure this one was kindly given to me by Chris, at Chris's Beer Reviews. He's got quite an extensive beer glass collection. He was having a bit of a clear out and asked if I had a use for it. And I thought, yeah, I'm sure it'll get used at some point. But yeah, in the beer goes. I'll turn it that way so you don't need to see the branding on it. It is hazy, not completely hazy. There is a little bit translucency going on there, but yeah, it's definitely not as filtered as much as it would normally be. But yeah, that's quite a nice sort of dark gold bordering on amber coloured lager. Like I say, good haze to it, good levels of carbonation. I think there is a bit of a nucleated point at the bottom of this glass because it's, you can see the carbonation, the clouds of carbonation rushing out the middle of the glass there. Certainly got a bit of life in it. Let's get me snouting and see what the aromas are telling us. That just smells like Birra Moretti to me. No difference. It smells like a standard cheap lager. Slight sort of citrusy touch. Bit of honey, grassy note. Slightly grainy. Nothing much to write home about. Let's get stuck in. Cheers. I tell you what, I am getting that subtle salty note, subtle savoury note, and it wasn't like at the back end where I thought it was going to be. It was up front, because as soon as it hit my tongue, I could taste the savoury note, and it does taste salty. And it says with a hint of Italian sea salt. I do wonder if they use Italian sea salt, because this stuff is produced in Edinburgh by Heineken. So whether they're importing Italian sea salt. Ingredients: water, malted barley, maize, hops, hop extract, Italian sea salt. It specifies Italian sea salt. Brewed in the UK by Heineken UK. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Dive into this full flavoured refreshment with Birra Moretti Sal de Mare, born from Italian coast. Medium-bodied premium lager at 4.8, unfiltered, natural haze and subtle hint of Italian sea salt. I can get the sea salt. I am getting a savoury, salty note. There is a bit of body to it. Certainly a little bit more on the palate. Slightly thicker. Which helps it kind of really envelop your palate and kind of sticks to your gums and everything. Yeah, it's easier on the crispness. It's more of a lager to kind of sit and savour rather than one just to kind of nick one after the other. It's got a bit more going on with it. But it's still, to me, it still just tastes cheap. It still tastes like a cheap lager with a bit of a salty touch, just for make something a little bit original, I guess. That salty note is, it's subtle, but at the same time, this is probably isn't a good thing, but it's probably the most substantial part of the beer. Saltiness is the only thing of note that I think is kind of memorable about this lager. It's not bad. It doesn't taste bad. It's not chemically. It tastes clean enough. Yeah, there's a bit of body, a bit of a sort of a grassy touch of citrus note. And then there's that sea salt. And that's the only thing that I can really, slightly savoury, slightly salty, sort of slightly dry, sort of slightly dry, bordering on bittery finish. Yeah, the sea salt is the only thing that's got any sort of original characteristic about this beer. It's the only thing that kind of stands out about this. Otherwise, it is just a run-of-the-mill, cheaply produced lager, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, it's just a bit meh. It's just a bit bland. I don't want to sit here and slag it off, but, you know, it's everything I thought it might be, you know, which is a whole lot of nothing. The branding's good, you know, it's Birra Moretti. I'm sure it's selling very well for them, an unfiltered version. They've gone down the Stella route, haven't they? Stella did their unfiltered, and they changed the branding to green for that one. That's not a bad product. Moretti have done something similar, or so say Heineken have done something similar with this one. Changed the branding to blue slightly. It's yeah, it's okay. It's okay. If are you a Moretti drinker? Direct question to you guys watching it. If you're a Moretti drinker, I'm sure you would have had this by now. What do you prefer? The original Moretti, or do you prefer this one, the unfiltered one with the sea salt? I would guess that most people would still pick the original Moretti over this. If you want an easy drinking, readily available lager, I think the Moretti is probably more attractive. The Moretti is probably more approachable. It's an easier drinking lager than this. Yeah, I'd be interested to hear from you if you're a Moretti drinker, a regular Moretti drinker. Like I say, I haven't had Moretti for a while, but I've just never been a fan. I've never liked that kind of artificial sort of hoppy bitterness at the back end, always put me off. And the back end to this one is more of a salty thing, but there is that slightly, yeah, there's that slightly cheap kind of hoppy bitterness that's there that I've never really enjoyed. Yeah, I think it's a slight improvement on the original, but that's not saying a lot. Not for me personally. Birra Moretti, Sal de Mare, the unfiltered sea salt version. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. It's not terrible, but it's not one I'd have any interest in drinking ever again, to be honest with you. I hope you've enjoyed the review. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Until my next one, you take care.